this working? Maybe. Good evening, everybody. Hope you're all well. Nice to see you all. Yeah, hopefully this is working. For all I've streamed the last 2 weeks, it feels like this is the first one in a long time. I don't know whether I'm not out of practice, but it just seems a long time since I last did one. Probably because I've been a bit ill for the last two, and should maybe not have streamed. But anyways, so tonight, hopefully, I will not be coughing all damn night. So I've mainly gotten over all that, and it's not so bad now. Still a bit, and it catches in the throat now and again. But it's miles better than what it was even just on Sunday. Here we go. It's not as bad as what it was last week anyway. That's much I can guarantee you. Yes, I'm very much on the mend, thank you, Kangmu. Anyways, lovely to see you. Glad you are here. So, good evening, Stephanie, and good evening, Paul. I'm saying good, afternoon, Peter. Here's me saying I'm not going to cough very much tonight. And here I am coughing more than what I've done all day. I'll have a look at that, Paul. Remind me at the end. Good afternoon, Aussie. And obviously good morning, Kangaroo, and good evening, Alistair. Good evening, Sten. Yeah, the voice is going already. Oh, God. I am better. Honestly, I am better. I just obviously haven't spoken very much in the last few weeks, so just trying to keep the vocal cords and the gullet kind of lubricated so I can continue. So apologies for this. I thought I was, this week I don't feel rubbish as well. It is just a niggly cough from having to speak. So, anyways, how are we all? Hope you're all well. Nice to see you all again. Thank you for coming back, even though the last 2 weeks have been a complete car crash. And who wants to listen to somebody cough for an hour in their evenings? Oh, come on, man. This isn't the requirement of having to speak for these things. Never good. I don't like speaking a lot anyway, but having to do it whilst you've got a bit of a cough is not a lot of fun. So I don't think I've got much to report to you since last week because I haven't really done much. I've been working on a new newsletter though, so that will be coming soon. This will be the first newsletter since May last year. So I got massively out of the practice. Not out of the practice of making them. I just every time I intended to make one, it just got pushed back and pushed back and pushed back to the point it's nearly it's 10 months later and we're still doing. Every time you record it, so you normally, Peter, when I try to record audio, that's when the stuttering starts. And not computer stuttering and like streaming stuttering. I mean mouth, brain stuttering. That's usually my issue when I try to do anything. Good morning, Paul, by the way. Hope you're well, sir. It's a little bit annoying. It's just catching right in here. So anyways, yes, newsletter is on its way. So I'd imagine all you guys that are watching do subscribe already, but if there's anybody out there that doesn't, I think there's a link in the description below to sign up. If not, go to my website and look under the about bit. There's a left-hand menu. There's a link to newsletters and stuff on there. Get yourself signed up there, because they will be coming probably in the next week. I have started writing bits for it now, and I should be able to find time to put it together before next week. So that'll be a change. Actually getting to achieve something. Not a lot though, obviously. A busy old week this week. Lots going on. Yeah. One of my neighbours 2 doors down's got COVID, so that's lovely, isn't it? And spoke to him nearly every day, like the last week. I was sitting next to him on Saturday. Wonderful, just what you want. But then again, I might have given him it if I had it 2 weeks ago. Not sure if I did, but I might have given him it to start with. I tested negative though yesterday. That was the first time I've tested myself in about 2 months. So, joy of joys. Right, I'll tell you what I need to do. I need to start Photoshop up because I haven't yet. So tonight's intention is to do something from the archives because all the stuff I've been working on from January is been I'm a little bit bored of it. So I thought I needed to go back, and for some reason, I went back. I think I was looking. I was looking at old, older newsletters, and I saw the one from March last year, or 2020. No, 2020. One of the earlier ones. So we are going back to pre-COVID days to work on something for that tonight. I think that minimised that. So we are going back to March the 8th, 2020. I think so. It was the last photo shoot I did before lockdown, before we got stuck indoors for 3 months. So we're heading to Norham Castle, which I will show on screen. So yeah, this lovely place, which you've seen countless times before, but one of the images that I've always liked, and I think I can maybe not improve it, but do a different version of, is come on, show it. Is this one. So I'm going to work on similar data to this and see how we get on. See how it works out. So that's what we're going to do tonight. So going back in time and playing around and seeing what we can get. But this shoot from back in 2 years ago had some decent results from it. If I can scroll, a couple of my favourite images from the year came from this shoot. Where we go, like this. Why is it so slow? Well, maybe it's not that one, but certainly. It was a combination of the two. That one, I think it was that one was the final version. This was the one of my favourite ones from that year. So we're gonna go back and revisit Norham to see what we can do without actually going up to Norham, because I did fancy going up, but the weather this week's a bit rubbish, and petrol is extremely expensive at the moment, so minimizing travel at the moment. It's not a good thing. Let's go rate it. See what we've got to pick from. Thank you very much, Kangaroo. And good evening, Alan. How are you doing, sir? I'm still coughing a little bit, by the way. Not as much as I have been, so I may be safe enough to stand next to you shortly. Right, so what we're going to do. Why am I not on? Am I on screen? No, I'm not. Has the button changed? No, it's not. It's there. I just wondered why I wasn't on screen there all of a sudden. As you can see, the actual day that I photographed this on, lovely moody skies, very very dark clouds, and good side light on the castle and the landscape. Very very nice day to be photographing. So what we're gonna do is it's mainly this series. Why is this so slow? Because I'm not in the library mode, that's why. That's all handy. So, I've got this particular view of Norham Castle, and it's a bit notch in its top. It's not really a notch, it's just where everything else has fallen away. Excellent, mate, excellent, mate. It certainly was, Peter, and I think that was the inspiration behind this image, is how dark it was. Good evening, Diane. How are you? It's been a while. Hope you're well. I did see you had a birthday last week, though. Many congratulations. Lovely to see. So, I'm going to look at these ones and see what kind of images we can make out of these. Got quite a few contenders. Plenty of dust spots to clean up. Alright, let's just start making decisions. Probably that one. Those two. Yeah, I need a bit of softness. Not sure about that one. Potentially. Nah. Bit detailed. Probably that one, yeah. And let's go back to a soft one. This is the old. I mean, these are all taken with the LD 700, so they should be quite good for processing and not be killing the computer. Ah, very good. I might have been, Paul. I might have been. Yeah. Actually, that'd be quite a bit of a different experimentation. Is break a bottle and put the bottle over the over the lens to see what kind of weird effects we could do. All right, let's start cleaning some of this up. So all the usual stuff and detail. Bung that up. Basic thing. We need to clean up the dust spots though, of which there looks like there's a lot of them. As many as possible. I have got smart previews enabled on here, so it's not easiest to see the detail for doing dust spotting. Just get the worst of them, I think. Excuse me. Just forgetting how small these files are on this old machine, on the old camera. When you zoom across the image, you don't have to move very far. Greylings does sound good. Greyites. Yeah, it sounds a bit more foreign. Nothing I haven't got nothing against foreigners. Right, so that's that reasonably clean. I can do some work. Auto. Now I'm not predefining what the final image will look like, but I'm thinking dark again, like that previous version. Maybe not as warm as that. Right, just alter this a bit. So increase this contrast a bit. I'm just gonna put the exposure on it because we are going to be blending it together. It's going to go pretty dark pretty quickly. Let's just drop the highlights a little bit. Let's see how things go. Excuse me. Let us try. Whoa. And undo. I was aiming for the blues for that. Not going to do much. All right, fair enough. We tried. And then we'll just sync all these settings across to the rest of them. So obviously I'm working on 7 images here. Probably not going to use all of them though. So we'll load these all into Photoshop and see where we end up. While these are loading, just remind you, if you want to join the community on Patreon, then please do head on over there. Patreon.com/AndrewSGray. There are wallpapers and other bonus materials, and I'll have to sort out this month's Zoom chat as well, which will be how's the dates setting out this month, short month obviously, so it looks like it's gonna might be busy on the 25th. Right, I will have to consult my diary for the next Zoom chat, because if we stick to Fridays, it's gonna be next Friday the 25th, and something tells me I've got something on that day. Can't quite remember though. I will get back to you, everybody on Patreon. I will send through. Well, I'll do an update on it, and we'll see where we're at. Right, so those have loaded up, all 7 of the little swines. But having 7 to play with could be quite nice. Because usually I just use 5, and that usually, that's enough to kill the system. But with the smaller files, working with 7 is pretty nice. This could turn out quite good tonight. Look at that. So we'll see what we get. I'm gonna have to do some rearranging because it doesn't line up. That's always the case. Wow. Right, let's go to multiply. Let's get these lined up. Let's get rid of all these. Yeah, so use these ones as a basis of where everything's going to be. So just the move tool. Go from layer to layer and just line them up. So some of these have got quite a bit of detail in, which could help or hinder. You're never really sure. bit of detail. So by loading seven in, you can either use them all or you just start jettisoning layers. I think this top one's quite bright, so that might be quite nice to keep and then ditch some of the others. So I think it is going to be a darker image. I am going to use multiply as my blend mode, but I'm just going to have a check. Cue the mood. Mood engaged there, Peter. I think I've got something like that. Something very over the top. So the light and blend mode, if you take these bottom three out. Nah. It was worth a look. It was worth a look. So overlay. Yeah. It's just wishy-washy, isn't it? Been like weird. Yeah, that's not really. I think multiply is our option today. I think what we can do is take out some of these detailed ones. Not too many of them though. That one's quite strong. Or maybe it's even just parts of them. And by having if we erase this right hand side, not erase it, but go like that, softens that off. Come down here, softens the foreground off. Then we can kind of stick with that darker foreground, darker right hand side vision again. So that keeps on that, keeps the detail. And this layer, by having that on, it keeps these trees soft. I don't want them really, really dark over here though. So this one would be a good one to obliterate some things. So go there, go there, there, and there. Let's just keep that layer around the castle. I feel like that should be like every week though, Peter, because every week it's a castle. I need to start taking photographs of other things. Right, I'm going to try to take a bit of sting out of this left hand side. That could be a good one. So I activate the thing on there and go like that. No, not that much. Leave that layer in. That one's quite bright, so I'm going to duplicate that layer because I quite liked this darker sky that it gave. But this layer, I'm going to manually paint out this bit. So just a mask again. Eraser, yes, the eraser button. Go to 50% opacity, flow 50 as well. Let's make it a slightly smaller brush, and let's just paint in here, or erase in here, and it just takes a lot of that darkness out of there. Because if you look on, well, you can't really see, but this layer is very much this corner is where image structure is. So that's really why erasing on there is good, because there's not much else to erase from elsewhere. Right, so where are we now? So what I would like to do is just get rid of this headland a bit. It's just a case of figuring out what layer that's on. Is it that one? No. It's that one. It's the higher one of the two. So if we get that mask in there and just just softening that line out from there. It was just a little bit distracting to me. Just a little bit distracting. Right, so we are at this stage. So I'm just going to crop these bits out. Like normally with a D700 I would try to expand the canvas as much as I could. But in this case, because of the layering, if I just tried to expand it for just that thing, you'd end up with a very light foreground down at the bottom. Don't particularly want that, so we'll erase that, or crop that, I should say. I keep forgetting what zoom options I have. Right, so let's have a new layer. I haven't picked it up since I got the new camera, Peter. It's still sitting on my drawers behind us there. Never had actually the battery might still be in it. Yes, but it hasn't shot it. It hasn't taken a picture since the D850 arrived. So it's never left the house or anything, which is a bit of a waste, really. But there you go. It's there for emergencies. If something unforeseen happened to the other one. Right, what am I doing? Colour. Need to colour this image. So, because I always like things a bit orangey, I'm going to do the old paint bucket tool. Go to hue, saturation, colour. Ooh, colour, very vibrant, isn't it? Interesting. Right, drop the opacity to about there. Softens it. It barely does a thing there, doesn't it? Let's go to colour. What's that? Off and on. He's very warm. It's very, very warm. Maybe reduce the opacity a little bit more. Let's go with a curves layer. Whoa. Whoa. Slow down there. Certainly had its appeal, Sten. Certainly had its appeal. I mean, we might be getting there now, but leaving in a little bit of blue and a little bit of green, though. So I take that off. Yeah, it's got that just warmer cast in the sky, which is a bit nicer. We're heading there quickly, Peter. Don't be too long. Might be a short stream tonight, Peter. Right, so I think we're probably ready to go in Analog Effects Pro. If I take that off, I quite like that hotspot of light there. Right, because still the Nik Collection doesn't work properly, having to do the flatten layers thing before we go into filters in Analog Effects Pro. Also, I need to update as well. Still haven't done it. So, right then, see what we can make it. Did I flat? Yeah, I did flatten the ISO noise, didn't I? Right. Although I could make one from scratch this week, couldn't I? For a change. Because I'm looking down here and I'm seeing nothing. Maybe it's that one. Pardon me. Feels like it's been a long weekend. Even we're nearly halfway through the week. Well, it was a long weekend because you Americans will have been watching, well, probably watching the Super Bowl. Well, on, Sunday morning I was up at 3, I think. And obviously the Super Bowl finishes here, like about 3 o'clock Monday morning. So I was intending to see if I could do 24 hours, stay awake from 24 hours. And I got as far as, I got to half time. And then I was like, nah, can't do it. Go to bed. Admitting defeat. So I did 22 hours awake. After not sleeping a lot during the week as well. My sleep pattern is broken. Right, I think I'm going to make a fresh one for a change, but I'm just getting ideas. Fresh preset. I think I've maybe over-egged the red. But we'll see. Right, so let's go with this one, and then let's reset. Quite right, Paul. Quite right. If you're enjoying this stream, please do leave it a like. It helps the algorithm, and people, and maybe YouTube will push it out to more people as we are streaming. So, whilst Paul reminds me, drop the stream a like if you were enjoying such a thing. Where would I be without you, Paul? Keeping me right. Red. Peter wanted red. Right. Okay, let's reset these. So reset that. Reset that, reset that, reset that, reset that. We'll get back to normal. Good evening, Simon. How could you forget I was on? I'm literally going to write an article about people watching, well, people always watching me for the newsletter. And I wasn't going to drop names, but you're a prime example, Simon. And then you let me down by arriving 35 minutes late. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Right, so we've reset all the preconceived values and all that kind of stuff. So they're all back to normal. So you need that bell. Did you click the bell? Is that bell clicked and to give you notifications? Not that YouTube actually puts them things out like. Right, so I think firstly we want to increase the brightness because it's a bit dark. Maybe desaturate a bit. Drop the contrast. We get to that. Increase the detail extraction. Yeah, right. That's the starting point. Right, double exposure module. This is where the tricky. Actually, I'm going to knock off lens vignette and film type. And levels and curves up. That was meant to be reset. And is that reset? Yes, that's reset. So double exposure, I'm going to use this. So let's expand this, if it will let me. Ring the bell. The bells. I don't know what the quote is, because I'm uncultured and don't read books or watch Disney films. Although, you know, I know Quasimodo's the humpback fella that lives in Paris or something. That's about as much as I know. It's lighter, isn't it? Right. We haven't got there yet, Simon. We haven't got there yet. I'm trying to make one from scratch, which is not good. Right, exposure balance might need to be increased. Sounds like the dog's wanting out. So I could use the, you know, the overlying colour. Gives a quite nice red. And its position there. But in the use the zoom strength to change that so it softens it. So I move the zoom over here. That should obliterate all the detail over that on that overlaying. Let's drop the exposure. Let's increase it. Exposure balance. Let's increase that more. I am better, Simon. Thank you. I am better. Still niggling, but just couldn't shake it. Couldn't shake it. Right, let's back to double exposure. So I'm going to do any more manoeuvring of this. Just want to move this and see what we can get. Because to me it does feel like it's just, that second layer is just a blur, which obviously it is. Dog's getting wrong. Obviously wanted out and then didn't. He's forgotten what day it is. He knows he doesn't go out on a Tuesday night because I'm busy. Right, this isn't going not going well. Stop shouting at him, man. For fuck's sake. Dog getting wrong live on the internet. Right, so we're going to dial back a little bit of texture into this. going to manoeuvre this around a bit. I don't like the fact that there's no texture and it just looks like washed out kind of light. Hi David, good morning. A second Aussie. Welcome to you. Hope you're not all going to gang. The two of you aren't going to gang up on the rest of us, mind. I might have to just move this. Ah. That's not so bad then, David. It's alright, he's English. You Aussies will get everywhere. Anyways, Kangamoo, you're not the only one. you never were. Paul's here. Oh, he was earlier on. Right. I'm struggling now, people. I'm struggling. God, I really am struggling as well. It's a mess. You're still there, Paul. Yeah. You can have two. Well, you can have as many as you want, really. Right. This image is not going well. Getting annoyed now. Might just have to go with something like this. 25 million. All right, fair enough, Kangaroo. Right. Well, this is looking better, but still, I think I might need some colour work. Right, there's the... Excuse me. It's getting a little bit better now, Alistair. It's taken a while. Good point, Aussie. Good point. Right, so if we... Excuse me. It's quite dramatic, but I wouldn't like to print it with all this darkness. Because I think that'll be clipping into the blacks, that. Increase that a little bit. Things it does it uniformly, which is never good. I'm sure there's more than one fake one. Right. Are we starting to make a little bit of headway now? Maybe. I think I'm probably pushing it in the direction of the previous version because I like that one quite so much. So this one's not developing in a natural way. and also because I'm using, starting a preset from scratch as well, which can be sometimes never good. Excuse me. Just catching. Oh, bloody hell, man. Oh, for crying out loud. One notification and bloody hundreds of the bastards. Right, so... what emote is lousy? Looks pretty good. Right, so neutral. Let's make that darker. So let's go faded. Let's increase that. We're getting another storm tomorrow, Simon. Sick of them. I think so far we've been lucky and not lost power, so guarantee we're going to be without power tomorrow night because everybody else has had no power around us. Excuse me, people. Right, so colour. Let's have a look at other ones. Nope. Let's increase the strength a bit. Bring that down the middle. So we engage these properly. It's quite bright, that one, isn't it? Unfortunately not, Simon. I would have been quickly to the bank with that one. These people that the power grid thanked them for their honesty. I'm like, what the honesty? I would have been straight into Barclays saying, cash that bitch as soon as possible. Make sure that goes in, and then I'd be complaining if it didn't go through. Their problem. If they want to give me trillions of pounds, I wouldn't have said a word. I would just put it in the bank and complained when it wasn't, when it was reneged on. Give me that money. For a few trillion, I'd quite happily go without electric for a couple of days, providing I could go somewhere else and continue to use electric somewhere. Come on. How weird, man, chest. Stop coughing. Right, this image is finally starting to get a bit better. So, angle that. No, it does need to be less there. Brightness, no. It's very dark up there. Yep. Like, who cares about the rest of the country? Just give me the money. That was a Tom Cruise thing, wasn't it? Give me the money. You too, David. Have a good day. Thanks for stopping by. Maybe it doesn't need to be so bright up there. Let's take the edge off this bottom corner. A feeling probably a bit too yellow, to be honest. says he takes away a lot of blue. There we are. That's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Red. Is Peter back for the red yet? Oh! Speak and then... Speak and the devil shall appear. It's probably a bit too red. So it's probably just a little bit joking a little bit. If you squint, it looks all right. Yeah. Before they have a chance to take it out my account again, so. Right, so are we about there? Quite possibly. I was wondering about the... Do we just soften that off a little? No, we don't. 5 degrees. Will that be softening it off just a little bit? Or do we leave that as it was? Oops. Does that distract the eye now that that's blurry? Or not? That is the question. I think it suits the sky better. But then again, I think, just like the last few weeks, as if do like a panoramic crop, and it'll chop off from about there. Maybe. Possibly. So. It's looking alright, that. I think. Finally. So starting point. Or one kind of starting point. To that, I think that will probably do for this. Oh no, I forgot to save the preset. The whole point of doing it was to make a new preset. God damn it, brain. Actually, no, can I do it? Yeah, I think if I go back in, this new version keeps the preset. It like loads up the last set of settings, so I should be able to go back in and save it. He says with crossed fingers. Right, let's go filter Analog Effects Pro, and it should have retained the settings. Excuse me. Did it? I think it did. No, it didn't. Did it? Oh no. It was just loading up the last one. Thank God for that. Yeah, these are the right. So, add customs, and then we go TNE163 because that's the episode number. Okay, that, and then that is rare for the next time. Right, cancel. So, can you tell I'm working on a new set of presets? Because money's running out. Merch. Must sell more merch. Right, so where are we? Oh, look at this. Look at all these layers, and it's not even up to a gigabyte yet. Lovely. Who would upgrade to a bloody D850? Right, let's play with the colour a little bit. Or a lot. -1, saturation down a bit. Lightness, darkness. Leave that as it is. Reduce the saturation of the yellows. We'll leave it in because it's a bright sun, really, isn't it? So maybe just minus through 2 on the saturation for that. Yeah, sometimes are, Alistair. Sometimes are. Yeah, that change is minimal. I think the thing is whenever I'm looking at that kind of thing, I'm always just because it with when you're using the hue and saturation and you use like the master one, then it changes everything. I think probably more interesting if it was like just select colours were done. If we get rid of that and do another hue and saturation jobby, let's go to just the yellows and drop them. Then you've got, there's maybe a little bit more interest in some areas. Well, yeah, the masters, you can get down to that kind of bluey kind of look. But to me, I think you've got to do, you've got to have more than one colour. It might be a case of inverting colours. This maybe is a bit more of a better thing to do. Let's just flatten this layer off and then Control I to invert, and then you can do something a bit more tweakish like this. I mean, what you could do is colorize it using gradients and all that kind of stuff, which is it's a bit you can do it, but it's a bit, to me, it's a bit complicated. I can't even remember how to do it. But it is possible, so you can get like change the brights and the darks to different colours and that kind of stuff. It's all kinds of weird and wonderful stuff. So yeah, you can go into a hue and saturation layer in here, and then kind of dick around and change it how you want. Obviously, the blacks are inverted into white and so forth. Hence the dark sky. I use it now and again. Yeah, you can do loads and loads of dicking around like that when you got loads and loads of time on your hands. That's when I do that kind of stuff. Right, so this one, did I? Yeah, I did desaturate that a little bit. Just look very bright. Looks very bright. Right, I think I did do a little bit of colour alteration there, didn't I? We can maybe do a little bit in Lightroom. So, yeah, let's just save this as is. See where we end up. Back in Lightroom pretty quickly, probably. I think I've read a couple of the books, Simon, and I think I've watched the first series, but I never got beyond. Or maybe he's got halfway through like season 2, or maybe I did see all of season 2. But then it got beyond where I was in the books, so I kind of stopped watching. And I think there was a point in the, according to my neighbour, that there's a point in the series and the books where they just go diverge significantly. But yeah, of course, you know, it starts off because what's he called? Uhtred. He's actually from Northumberland. He was from Bamborough, Lord of Bamborough, or the son of the Lord of Bamborough, or something like that. So, hence why there was interest. From me, right, give this 3 stars. Look for a crop, and right, so create virtual copy. Actually, do I do any alterations first? Color balance. I think just a little bit alteration like that, it gets very dramatic, doesn't it? Right, so if I do a create a virtual copy, I wish there was a keystroke for that. Maybe part Viking. Well, I think that I saw a trailer for the. It says it's the last season. I saw a trailer the other day for the last season of it. Right, what was I doing? Yeah, making this blue. Be careful on the see if any of these colours are clipping. Right, so that's is that slightly more. Yeah, everything's gruesome these days, though, Simon, isn't it? God. I forget how small these files are. Where you go, I'm gonna zoom into 100%, and it barely moves. Right, so that version looks pretty cool as well. I don't know which one's preferable. Or the warmer one, cooler one. Much of a muchness, really, aren't they? Both quite pleasant. We do, thankfully. All this flicking around is killing Lightroom. Yeah, I think I'm going to finish this one off, actually. Yeah, it's got that feel about it. Very dramatic, hasn't it? Yeah, I think what was it? Was it The Last Kingdom or was it something else? That it started the season and there was like this sorceress or something where, well, nobody could look at her. And that's at the point where I was like, I can't be bothered. I can't be stuffed. Gonna give up on this one for a while. So I didn't watch anymore. But you know, like I enjoyed the first series. I think it must have been most of the second. Because I think there was still some historic accuracy in it. And then they just started making it up after that, didn't they? Right, what am I doing? Crops, that's what I'm doing. Create virtual copy. Need one for Instagram because I haven't posted on Instagram for nearly a week. I need Instagram pictures. It's not going to suit the square. God damn it. Could get away with that, I think. Oh, I could do, because I did that. Not that, I wouldn't call it a splicing trick, but where you add two bits together and use the scroll thing. You could do that with that, couldn't you? So like one picture's that and the other picture's that. And you flip across. That one looks pretty nice. It's a little bit central, this mine. I suppose I could pull that in a little bit. It's a D850, D700 file, so it's not the biggest. Yeah. Nothing beats a ruined castle. Right, do I do any more? Create virtual copy. Let's go Fourier 2x3 just to. It's a bit central. It's a bit central. Maybe that's why I like the other one, because it was, I think it was more zoomed out. The previous iteration was slightly more zoomed out, wasn't it? Just a touch. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Anyways, you can see the difference of 2 years there in editing preferences. Two years of editing preferences. Look at the change. Some might say one's better than the other. I do like this longer version though. Looks pretty cool. This one is Norham Castle, famously painted many, well, I'm saying many times, painted by Turner. Peter, don't you always see bunny rabbits in these things? Isn't that your thing, to see bunny rabbits? Right, just for giggles, this warmer version, I'm going to do a crop on this one as well. Well, at least one anyway. One there. Excuse me. Just put the edge of that on that third. Yeah, square's not. Square crop isn't helping with this one. Create virtual copy, and we'll go with a 2v1. Like so. Pull in from this side, just do about there. About that. You may indeed. You may indeed, Peter. Right, let's go to the library. Put a cough again. So between the two, yeah, I mean either or I think work quite nicely. But maybe it's the cooler version because it's slightly out of my regular kind of feel of things. It's slightly more attractive. And it kind of conveys more of those grey, stormy, cloudy skies that were actually there that day. So maybe that's the best way of describing it. You get a nice contrast between the blues and the red as well, obviously. Contrast between the bright light and the dark clouds. Lovely, lovely. Bunny rabbits all your thing. Yes, Peter, you're. Right then. I think that's turned out quite nice. Reasonably pleasant image. Reasonably pleasant to work on this image, seeing as it's not a D850 file. It's not like 4 gigs or anything like that. Very pleasant. And I got a new preset out of it as well, which will be on sale at some point in the near future as I put more collections together. Right, so there's another one to add to the collection. Thank you very much for joining me tonight. So I know I've been whittering on about another book for a while. And I was going to do it for up to 150 episodes. But I've decided to continue on until it's 4 years worth of Tuesday night edits, which will be in April. So, and that will be the cut-off point for the book. So hopefully by then I'll have made some decent images. And I'm mainly extending it because there's been a lot of dross in the past. So hopefully we'll be able to get some decent stuff squeezed in between now and April to be able to fill in a few pages. So that's the intentions. That's the latest thought processes on book, etc. It's a nice way of putting it, Kangaroo. It's a trivial amount of time. Yes, it was April the 24th was the... There will be others to go with it as well, Paul. So it's not £5 for like one. Yes, I think it was the 24th of April, the first one I did. 2018, obviously. So how long's that to go? How many more Tuesdays? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 more weeks. And that'll be 4 years. We'll be getting drunk that night. Maybe. Any excuse for a drink. That's what it is. That's what we do. Right, before I start another coughing fit, let's go to that one. Yeah, back to me. Right, thank you so much for watching. Apologies for still continuing to cough on stream. I thought I was a lot better, but it still catches. You can probably see it start to go like that whenever I'm about to cough. Party time. Excellent. Get the drinks in for that night. So that's the intentions. Obviously, we've still got 10 weeks to go. Anything could go wrong by then. Finally a red one. Very cheeky, Peter. Very cheeky. Well, yeah, thank you all very much for coming along watching tonight. Going through some old stuff. It's always nice to go through old stuff now and again. Just let's not rely on it too much. But yeah, I've enjoyed that. Fairly successful image. I think that'll be going on Instagram soon. Yeah. Thank you very much, Alistair. And there might even be a stream. Not a stream, editing shorts. You know, that one where I speed everything up. Does it all in a minute. I think tonight will be a good example for that. Grand. Right. Have a lovely rest of the week, everybody. And a good weekend ahead of you. Everybody who's, over in either, in the US and you've got the most of your day left, and those in Australia that have got Wednesday ahead of them. Hope you have a lovely, safe day for the rest of you. Have a lovely evening. And until next Tuesday, which I'm sure we'll be here for, till then, behave yourselves. Keep it hard. See you.